Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another rendition of NXT. Tonight, we are just a few weeks away from WrestleMania. Speaking of WrestleMania, we have two Money in the Bank qualifying matches tonight. Liv Morgan versus Asuka for the women, and Dolph Ziggler taking on Daniel Bryan. Tonight will not disappoint. The Messiah, Seth Rollins, making his return to NXT, his first appearance on NXT since that three-branded draft between NXT, WCW, and Monday Night Raw. And as you can see, he's accompanied to the ring by Akam and Mizar AOP. Buddy Murphy somewhere in the building. These four men are known as the Church of Rollins. Now, last week, we did not see Kevin Owens, we did not see AOP, Buddy Murphy, but we did, however, see Kevin Owens confront Adam Cole, the NXT champion, Adam Cole. And in the process of confronting Adam Cole, Kevin Owens did mention the name of Seth Rollins. So one can only think maybe this appearance tonight has something to do with what we saw and heard last week.
I try so hard to lead by example. My mission in life is to lead all of you to the land of prosperity. I am the Messiah of NXT, and it's my duty to create a world in which this brand, this company, is second to none. I am the standard bearer, but every single time I try to lead you to a life of opulence, there's always someone who chooses to disrespect me. Truth be told, there's only one specific person I'm referring to. That person is Kevin Owens. Last week, he chose to speak my name in an attempt to disrespect and defame my being. I was hoping that myself and the Church of Rollins were drafted to separate brands from Kevin, but fate didn't see it fit. Even with that being said, I had no desire to interact with Kevin Owens ever again, but that was before he chose to bring my name into his personal dealings with his friend, Adam Cole. I paid very close attention to the words of both Kevin and Adam, and one thing is clear. Kevin Owens does not deserve an NXT title match at WrestleMania. Not only does he not deserve one, but he lose with ease. Myself, on the other hand, have done nothing but made history with every single time I stepped foot into that WrestleMania ring. I built this brand from the ground up. I was there when it went from being a gimmick match to being a household name. I was the name that was in those households. At WrestleMania, it will be my name that makes history.
And as you'd expect, after all the words that Seth Rollins just spoke, you'd have to believe that Kevin Owens was right there chomping at the bit, waiting to come out to the ring. He is making his presence known at this very moment. No love is lost between these two individuals, between Kevin Owens and the entirety of the Church of Rollins. Kevin Owens saying himself, and Seth Rollins said it himself just now, these two wanted nothing else to do with each other. They wanted nothing more to do with each other. They wanted this brand split, this draft, to be the start of new eras for both individuals. But it seems they're back in each other's faces once again. Ladies and gentlemen, do you see it now? Do you see why for the last few months my life and career have been a non-stop living hell? It's because I've had to listen to this delusion non-stop. A grown man thinking he's God when he's actually closer to being Lucifer. Seth, I don't care about you. I stopped caring about you the moment my name was announced as being drafted to NXT. This is my chance to get back to being KO. Back to being a prize fighter. Back to being NXT champion. The last time I was able to truly be myself with no restrictions. I know you're out your mind, but I can look you in your eyes with no hesitation and say this. If you stand in my way, I will run through you, and I won't look back until my hand is raised in the middle of that ring at WrestleMania as I'm crowned the new NXT champion. Hey boys, I'd love to see you fight over me a little longer, but your egos are getting in the way. They're clouding your judgments because you both seem to be forgetting just exactly who the hell I am. I am the longest reigning NXT champion in history. That's longer than the both of you. So if you're going to fight over the right to face me at WrestleMania, it's best you come to grips with the image of me holding this championship, because the picture stays the same at WrestleMania. And since you two seem to be so angry tonight, how about you two face each other in a little 8-man tag match? Seth, you've got your boys, but Kev, I'm a little worried about you. Last week you tried to call me your friend, but we all know you don't have any. I just hope for your sake, someone in the locker room has at least an ounce of sympathy for you. If not, and I highly doubt anyone does, we just might see your early retirement tonight. That's undisputed, friend. Adam Cole acting as an unofficial general manager for NXT, laying down the gauntlet, the stipulation, challenging both men, Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens, to an 8-man tag match between each other tonight. The problem is, who will be Kevin Owens' tag team partners? But that is the main event. Right now, we have the very first Money in the Bank qualifying match of the night. And this is for the women of NXT. Liv Morgan, a brand new Liv Morgan that we've seen over the past few months since she's returned. Getting her opportunity in a major way. Taking on this lady right here. Asuka, one of the most decorated individuals in the entire world. A woman who is dangerous 100% of the time. You cannot overlook Asuka, and you cannot overlook her tag team partner standing right there behind her, and Kairi Sane. Together they are the women's tag team champion. And if Asuka can qualify for this Money in the Bank match at WrestleMania, she could very well become the Money in the Bank winner. She could hold the women's tag team titles, the Money in the Bank briefcase, and any women's championship of her choosing, all in the same night. Liv Morgan versus Asuka is a match. It's a feud that I personally wanted to see for a long time. As you can see right there, Asuka, without a doubt, the strike advantage in this match. She can hit you anywhere, anytime, at any angle. But Liv Morgan is not a woman to be slept on. As Asuka hits that back suplex right there, but Asuka, a former SmackDown Women's Champion, the greatest NXT Women's Champion of all time. She defeated Goldberg's undefeated streak. She had the longest undefeated streak of all time. But she's going up against a woman named Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan is she's next up. You can honestly say that Liv Morgan has all of the potential to be that next woman in line. It's just she has certain things that she has to work on if she wants to succeed. Liv has it all. Liv can put on really good matches. Liv has she has the charisma. Liv has the look. But she just has to tweak this and that in order to become what she wants to be, and that is a champion. And who knows, Asuka just might be that person to bring it out of Liv Morgan. Asuka gives a lot of women their best matches. Asuka brings out the best in every single woman she's in that ring with. And what better way for Liv Morgan to qualify for the women's Money in the Bank match than to defeat Asuka? That's something that is almost of equal value to actually being a champion. Saying you defeated Asuka 1-on-1 in the middle of the ring, saying that you were the better woman than Asuka that night. No weapons, no disqualifications, no interference, because that's not Liv Morgan's MO. Liv Morgan wants to show and prove that she's ready. This is now her time. And she is ready to be what she needs to be. But just like that, Asuka is not a woman to take lightly. Asuka will showboat. Asuka has more charisma at her fingertips than any individual, both man and women, do in their entire careers. But don't let Asuka's charisma and her silliness confuse you. She will kick your head off. Asuka going for the Asuka lock. This could be it, ladies and gentlemen. Asuka could very well qualify for the Women's Money in the Bank match. And just like that, Asuka taps out Liv Morgan, and Asuka will be heading on to WrestleMania to compete in that Women's Money in the Bank match. Asuka celebrating. Liv Morgan obviously dejected, wishing she did a lot better in that match. But Asuka showing, Liv Morgan was having none of that. Asuka's trying to show support, respect. Asuka able to advance and qualify for the Money in the Bank match at WrestleMania, defeating Liv Morgan, who was not happy about it. But we go from that set of women to the Man and Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch, the Raw Women's Champion, as you can see holding her title right there, was actually drafted to NXT, which is kind of a sticky situation because she had a match against Shayna Baszler at WrestleMania for their Raw Women's Championship. And Shayna Baszler was drafted to WCW, so this leaves Raw, this leaves Shayna Baszler, this leaves the Man Becky Lynch in a sticky situation. But nonetheless, the Man is on NXT.
So at WrestleMania, I will be defending this Raw Women's Championship against Shayna Baszler. The winner will take this title and become the face of Monday Night Raw. Such a weird scenario, because I was drafted from Raw to NXT, and Shayna was drafted from Raw to WCW. Now I must admit from the bottom of my heart, I love NXT. I've mixed NXT, but losing is not an option for me. If winning at WrestleMania means I keep this championship, but I'm forced to leave NXT, then so be it. I will put my all into that match, and whatever happens, happens. Either way, I feel really bad for the women on Raw and NXT. A determined and pissed off man is not a pleasant sight.
Uh-oh. Looks like the Raw Women's Champion has caught the attention of the NXT Women's Champion, Rhea Ripley. And just like Becky Lynch, Rhea Ripley was set to have a match at WrestleMania for the NXT Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair was drafted to WCW. But just on WCW, Charlotte managed to qualify for the first inaugural WCW Women's Championship match at WrestleMania. So what does this leave for Rhea Ripley?
Becky, just like you, I had a similar predicament at WrestleMania. Or should I say, had. I was either going to have to defeat Charlotte Flair and retain my NXT Women's Championship, or lose and watch Charlotte reign over NXT. However, that was before Charlotte got the opportunity to qualify for WCW's triple threat match at WrestleMania for the inaugural WCW Women's Championship. Obviously, me losing my title was never an option, but now that my match is cancelled, I'm going to be the face of this division for a while. I must say that I resent you implying that I and the rest of the women in that locker room should fear you. Did you forget what happened the last time you were on NXT? In my ring? You were saved from the embarrassment of losing to me. So let it be known that Rhea Ripley fears no man. In fact, the best thing that the man can do is win at WrestleMania, because you can't escape embarrassment again. Admit it, Becky. The real reason you want to retain that Raw Women's Championship is because you know you can't beat me.
Still to come, a massive 8-man tag match. The Church of Rollins versus Kevin Owens and whoever he can find to be his tag team partner. An unbelievable sight we just saw. Sonya Deville attacking NXT Women's Champion Rhea Ripley. Just moments after Rhea Ripley announced that her match against Charlotte Flair was now off. Sonya Deville wasted no time making her statement. But we transition from that to this. Money in the Bank qualifying match for the men of NXT. Dolph Ziggler, a man who's won the Money in the Bank contract before and successfully cashed it in. One of the loudest pops in the history of professional wrestling. Taking on another man who is also familiar with winning the Money in the Bank contract and cashing it in successfully, in Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan, just like Dolph Ziggler, successfully cashing in the Money in the Bank contract, successfully becoming champion, having a successful title reign, being made a star due to that cash in. Now both men are looking to do the same once again in just a few short weeks. Now, if this was just a regular match, this match could be a match of the year anytime. But this isn't just a regular match. No, this match has pressure. This match has a stipulation. The winner of this match advances to WrestleMania to compete in that Money in the Bank qualifying match. Or, the Money in the Bank ladder match. This is not just a normal match. The pressure is on. And that means the match we are about to see will be even better than what we would have seen any other time of the year. And also, how could I forget Dolph Ziggler wearing those trunks? Again, it's been a while since we've seen Dolph Ziggler in trunks. But this is a new era for a lot of these superstars, a new beginning, new opportunities, new chances. Some of these superstars are looking for their time, their shot. And maybe Dolph Ziggler going back to those trunks is him trying to get back that momentum, that passion that he had. Because it was in those specific trunks. It was in those specific trunks in which he won the Money in the Bank briefcase, in which he cashed in the Money in the Bank briefcase, and he won the World Heavyweight Championship. But then you go over to Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan, he was never supposed to be this Daniel Bryan. The Daniel Bryan we know now would have never existed, because the powers that be, the same powers that be that Triple H mentioned on the first episode of NXT, were the same powers that be that were involved in trying to make sure Daniel Bryan was not the star that he was always destined to be. It wasn't until the fans got behind Daniel Bryan that he was able to break through those handcuffs, those restraints that the powers that be latched on to him. And it was that wave, it was that momentum that led to Daniel Bryan winning Money in the Bank contract, cashing it in, becoming a multi-time World Heavyweight Champion, going on to WrestleMania, winning two matches in one night, and that second match being for the new WWE Championship. That very same momentum is what allowed Kofi Kingston, who was now on Raw, that same momentum allowed Kofi Kingston to defeat Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania last year for the WWE Championship. So Daniel Bryan he's been on both sides of this wave, this momentum that WrestleMania season brings. He's been on the side of all of the highest high, winning Money in the Bank and cashing it in. And he's been at the lowest low, losing his championship at WrestleMania. So winning this match for Daniel Bryan would just be his way of getting to a match and getting to a night that would not faze him. Quite possibly the only competitor in that match that would not be fazed by the pressure, by the intensity of the crowd. As he's able to reverse that zigzag attempt right there by Dolph Ziggler. Two of the very best wrestlers this business has to offer, Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler, extremely underrated and underappreciated. And people won't appreciate him until he's no longer wrestling, until he's off in Hollywood doing comedy shows and making movies. Daniel Bryan with these infamous yes kicks, just chopping the chest. Daniel Bryan with some of the strongest kicks that you will ever see. Dolph Ziggler not giving up though. Dolph Ziggler called himself the show stealer, the showstopper. And Dolph Ziggler had a run there where he was the guy that put on all the good matches. One of the best sellers you would ever see. One, there was 10 elbow drops, and Daniel Bryan was able to kick out at 1.5. Zigzag. Dolph Ziggler hits the zigzag, but he's not going for the pinfall. What is Dolph Ziggler doing? Dolph Ziggler hit his finishing maneuver, but did not go for the pinfall. Absolutely dumbfounded. And just like that, Daniel Bryan gets that yes lock. Looking to get Dolph Ziggler to tap out. This could be a fatal mistake. One of the biggest mistakes of Dolph Ziggler's career, but he was able to get out of it. But Daniel Bryan with that running knee. 1, 2, 3. Dolph Ziggler just cost himself a spot in the Money in the Bank match. Daniel Bryan will be heading to WrestleMania with a chance to become Mr. Money in the Bank once again. Both men showing respect to each other. An absolutely hard-fought victory.
You hear the clock ticking, tick tock. You about to stop living, tick tock. I want you to remember me, tick tock. But the day don't have no memory.
Montel Vontavious Porter, MVP, making his way to the ring, his very first appearance on NXT. A man that had a very successful career in the WWE, shorter than most, but a man that saw his way back to the WWE at the Royal Rumble, and also drafted to NXT. What exactly does MVP have in store for NXT? I'm sure we are going to find out.
You ain't getting back. Yeah, she want a bad boy, and I'm all about my cash, boy. She be all up in the jag,
Ladies and gentlemen, MVP is on NXT, and I'm here to make NXT the MVP of sports, entertainment, and professional wrestling. Now, I've been all around the world. I faced the very best this business has to offer, living legends and future Hall of Famers, just like myself. I've gathered an incomparable knowledge of what it takes to succeed in every facet of this business. My days in this ring are numbered, but I have years left because of what's in my head. That brings me to why I'm here. I'm here to find the best of the best and pair them together. I'm here to create the greatest faction of all time. I can see it now. A faction that has the NXT Championship, Women's Championship, North American and Tag Team Championships in their possession, rewriting the definition of dominance. My brain power, my knowledge leading the way into the history books. Starting tonight, I am officially scouting for the individuals that fit into the MVP way of life. We might be from NXT. We might be from Raw. We might be from WCW. You might even be a free agent, but regardless of where I find you, you must stand out. MVP will be conducting his own version of a star search, if you will, looking to create his own stable, his own faction to dominate NXT. But right now, the Church of Rollins looking to defeat Kevin Owens and anyone that Kevin Owens was able to find, if he was able to find anyone at all. And once Seth Rollins and the Church of Rollins are done with Kevin Owens, they set their sights on Adam Cole potentially. To face Adam Cole at WrestleMania for the NXT Championship. To become NXT Champion and make history again by being the first man to win the NXT Championship at WrestleMania. But that's if he and his brethren can make it past Kevin Owens and Kevin Owens' partners tonight. Earlier tonight, Kevin Owens said he wanted to get back to being a prize fighter. Being who he was before the politics of the main roster got in the way of his career, his development. And that starts tonight by defeating Seth Rollins, AOP, and Buddy Murphy. But in order to do that, he had to find three people, three superstars in the back that were willing to have his back, at least for this one night. And if he makes it through the Church of Rollins, he could very well go on to WrestleMania and face his former friend, Adam Cole, for the NXT Championship, who has Kevin Owens found to be his tag team partner. Oh, Cedric Alexander stepping up to the plate. Cedric Alexander drafted to NXT. Whoa,
with one purpose in mind, that he is a rising superstar. He could be next up. But obviously, Cedric Alexander, former Cruiserweight champion, isn't afraid of making a statement. And that's exactly what he did by accepting to be one of Kevin Owens' partners tonight. Who else will join Kevin Owens and Cedric Alexander? Apollo Crews. Yet another man that had the main roster kind of ruined their trajectory. Called up to the main roster too early, too fast. And they did absolutely nothing with them. But the general manager of NXT sees something in Apollo Crews. And Apollo Crews has never backed down from any superstar. And Apollo Crews is ready to start over, to start a new beginning. One more man to go. Who will it be? Oh, it's getting good now. It's good now. The North American champion, the NXT North American champion, Keith Lee, accepting the call. The fourth and final member for Team Owens. Absolutely a fascinating job what Kevin Owens was able to do in just a matter of an hour. Cedric Alexander, former NXT Cruiserweight champion. Apollo Crews, a man that can put on a match other night any week. And the limitless Keith Lee. This match is going to be off the chain. The Church of Rollins taking on Kevin Owens and the three men he was able to find for tonight. Apollo Crews, Cedric Alexander, and the North American champion, Keith Lee. Now, the history between these two men in the ring, Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins, it's long and tenuous. A lot of bad blood between these two men. And tonight, Seth Rollins has three men watching his back. He trusts. He's known for months now. They believe in his word. They believe in his vision for a better NXT. But Kevin Owens, on the other hand, he has three men that he found within an hour to have his back. But he has no tag team chemistry with any of the three men. He's never tagged with Cedric Alexander, Apollo Crews, or Keith Lee. So the dynamic between these 8 men it right itself. Seth Rollins, he's able to rely on men that he's worked exclusively with for months. But Kevin Owens will have to come up with chemistry on the fly. But one thing I can say is Kevin Owens will not let that deter him. If you listen to his words, to the passion in which he spoke with at the start of the show, you will know he's not letting anything get in the way of him getting back to being the Kevin Owens that we saw in NXT. That Kevin Owens that was ruthless. That Kevin Owens that was ready to betray any and every friend that he had, which is exactly why NXT champion Adam Cole figured it would be impossible for Kevin Owens to find 3 men to tag with him, to be willing participants to tag with Kevin Owens, because Kevin Owens has shown he will turn on anyone whenever and unprovoked. But Kevin Owens is flat out telling us he wants to get back to that man that he used to be. That man that was in it for himself, because he lost a piece of that. He lost that identity. He lost that hunger, that passion the moment he left NXT. He lost the idea of being that man. But right now, one of the men he was able to find, to have his back, Apollo Crews, is kind of having his way with Buddy Murphy, one of the disciples of Seth Rollins. As he is a vicious knee to Apollo, but can he get the pinfall off of this? One. Almost got that 2 count right there. But the Apollo Crews looking to pair his name with Kevin Owens and get the victory off of this, and that only could skyrocket his popularity, his trajectory by being a guy that was able to help lead this team to a victory. And Buddy Murphy is looking to do the same for his leader, Seth Rollins, looking to score a victory, looking to show the dominance that the Church of Rollins has over the entire NXT brand and the entire wrestling world. And we were waiting. We were trying to figure out when would the limitless Keith Lee make his way into this matchup. And he is in this match now, the NXT North American champion. A man who is willing to fight any and every man. And he doesn't care how many at a time. This right here is something I've wanted to see for a very long time. Seth Rollins versus Keith Lee. 2 of the best this business has offered. And that's the thing that NXT was so successful in doing. That was the whole game plan for NXT. To go in and draft the biggest, the brightest names with the best in-ring potential. no matter man, woman, tag team, it didn't matter. NXT was going for the best of the best, and that's exactly what they did. And right now, Keith Lee taking it to Seth Rollins, but can he get the pinfall? One. Only gets a 1 count. Once again, this is no ordinary Joe. This is Seth Rollins, multi-time world champion, tag champion, intercontinental, Money in the Bank winner. Speaking of Money in the Bank, you can catch Money in the Bank in a few weeks at WrestleMania. Seth Rollins gets a 1 count right there, a 1.5 count to Keith Lee. Seth hits a curb stomp early on to Keith Lee, but he does not go for the pinfall, and that has to be a mistake. You hit your finisher this early, you have to go for the pinfall. You hit your finisher at any moment in time, you have to go for the pinfall. But think of what this matchup right here could mean to the careers of both individuals. Seth Rollins, if Seth Rollins pins Keith Lee, he could very well eliminate Kevin Owens from the NXT title picture, while also adding himself to the NXT title picture and the North American title picture. But if Keith Lee, as he takes on Razor, or is that Akam? That's Akam. Keith Lee taking on Akam. If Keith Lee manages to pin Seth Rollins, Keith Lee could not only effectively remove Seth Rollins from the NXT title picture, but he could also add Kevin Owens, his tag team partner, and himself to the NXT title picture at WrestleMania. The same goes for Cedric Alexander and Apollo Crews. You gotta believe that they're looking. This tag match is much more than just wanting to compete. It's much more than wanting to team up with Kevin Owens. This tag match for all 4 men could very well mean the largest paydays in their careers. The first world championship in their careers as well. First WrestleMania match. So on and so forth. This match has several important career-defining stipulations. One. Kevin only gets a 1 count right there. He tries to pin the Akam. I think it's only right to mention the NXT champion Adam Cole. You know he is backstage and he is watching this match closely because Seth Rollins has the Church of Rollins. That's 4 members. Adam Cole has the Undisputed Era. That's 4 members. But Kevin Owens, after tonight, Kevin Owens could very well be by himself once again, because these 3 men have no obligation outside of tonight to team with Kevin Owens ever again, to watch his back ever again. So you gotta figure, who is Adam Cole pulling for in this match? Is he looking to have a match of the decade type of performance against Seth Rollins and defeat the most decorated superstar out of the three men between Adam Cole, Seth Rollins, and Kevin Owens? Or does he want to face Kevin Owens at WrestleMania and embarrass him by retaining his NXT championship by defeating Kevin Owens? Seth Rollins going for the pinfall. 2. Seth Rollins almost gets a 3 count after that frog splash to Apollo Crews, but maybe Adam Cole, Seth Rollins takes out the referee. Looks to be an accident, but this is the new Seth Rollins. This is the Messiah. Anything goes with Seth Rollins. And you gotta wonder, does Adam Cole, is he pulling for a certain individual in this match? Is he pulling for Seth Rollins? Is Adam Cole pulling for Kevin Owens? Because the numbers advantage is equal if Seth Rollins is able to pull off this victory. But it's 4-1 if Kevin Owens is able to pull off this victory. It's potentially 4-1 if Kevin Owens pulls off this victory. There's a lot of intricacies within this very match. A lot of men looking to make their names, looking to become superstars, looking to etch their names into the spotlight, into the title race. And speaking of titles, Adam Cole in the Undisputed Era, Roderick Strong is a member of the Undisputed Era. As Cedric Alexander hits that springboard forearm right there to Seth Rollins, but Roderick Strong, a member of the Undisputed Era, a former NXT North American champion, former NXT Tag Team champion. He's had his history with Keith Lee. So maybe Roderick Strong not only has his eye on Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens, but he has his eye on Keith Lee. Maybe he has his eye on Buddy Murphy, and Buddy Murphy can take out Keith Lee. Maybe Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, they're members of the Undisputed Era. As Seth Rollins hits that Revolution knee, but can he get the pinfall off with that? 1, 2, 2.5 for Seth Rollins as Cedric Alexander able to kick out of that. Cedric Alexander able to get the roll up, the schoolboy, the small package, excuse me. But Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, members of the Undisputed Era, former NXT Tag Team Champions, one of the best NXT Tag Team Champions in the history of the brand so far. But they have to be looking at Akam and Mazar. 1, 2, Keith Lee almost gets that victory over Seth Rollins. Almost potentially puts his name in that hat for NXT champion. But you got Akam and Mazar, AOP. They can have a date with Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish in the future for the NXT Tag Team Championships. I should inform you that the NXT Tag Team Championships are vacant. We do not have NXT Tag Team Champions at this very moment in time. All of the NXT tag teams are gonna have to prove themselves at some point in the near future before we can crown new NXT tag team champions. But right now, Kevin Owens he's taking everybody out. He wants this badly as Buddy Murphy able to hit that jawbreaker and then that spinning neck breaker. But you can kind of sense it. Stunner. Kevin Owens hits the stunner on Buddy Murphy. 1, 2. And just like that, Akam able to break up that pinfall. And Kevin Owens is angry. Kevin Owens is fuming. Kevin Owens had that victory. Kevin Owens potentially had that WrestleMania match against Adam Cole locked and loaded. Kevin Owens once again taking out the entire Church of Rollins, but Buddy Murphy able to fight off Kevin Owens once again. Razor able to make his way up back to the apron, but Kevin Owens knocks him off again. As Buddy Murphy hits a beautiful V-trigger to Kevin Owens. Can he get the pinfall? 1, 2. Oh. Apollo Crews saves the day for Kevin Owens. They did not look good, but Apollo Crews was able to break up that pinfall. And Buddy Murphy hits a beautiful powerbomb right there to Kevin Owens, and another nasty V-trigger. He almost got the pinfall off the first V-trigger. Can he get it off the second one? 1. Kevin Owens powers through, not even a 1 count. Kevin Owens, Samoan drop. Kevin Owens, man, just driving Buddy Murphy right down across his knee. And Kevin Owens once again taking out the entirety of the Church of Rollins, taking out ALP, taking out Seth Rollins, looking to set his sights on Buddy Murphy once again. Stunner, looking to get the pinfall. Can he get that victory? 1, 2, 3. Kevin Owens, with the help of Cedric Alexander, Apollo Crews, and the limitless Keith Lee, they knock off Seth Rollins and the Church of Rollins. This has to feel amazing for Kevin Owens. You see, he's amped up that he can taste the possible NXT championship match at WrestleMania against Adam Cole. Kevin Owens absolutely exhausted from that victory. Oh, Adam Cole making his way out to the stage. Kevin Owens realizing it, and these two going back and forth. Oh, what's going on? Kevin Owens making his way to the top of that stage, but Adam Cole is not backing down. What is going on? We need, I think we might need some security out here. What's going on? These two with y'all? Oh no. Oh, these two are going back. These two are brawling at the top of the stage. Oh, they're going at it, ladies and gentlemen. We gotta go.